This is the Paltalk News Network.
The speaker, and not necessarily those of Paltalk.com, AVM software, or its advertisers.
News Talk is online. News Talk Online, a production of Paltalk.com, the largest multimedia interactive program on the internet with more than 4 million unique users on demand on iTunes or YouTube. And on my blog, GaryBaumgarten.com, where you're encouraged to post your comments, whether you agree with yours truly or not, no retribution. And thanks to our good friends at CRN Digital Talk Radio, we're syndicated to an additional 12 million households. I am your host, Gary Baumgarten. I welcome you to the show. Tomorrow, the State of the Union, 9 o'clock New York time. I think I might have said 8 o'clock New York time. I guess our coverage will probably start at 8 o'clock. We will bring you President Obama's remarks. We will bring you the Republicans' response to his remarks. And we will give you an opportunity to talk after listening to both. And let us know and the world know what you think. It's all starting at 9 o'clock New York time tomorrow. Jennifer Horn, our good friend, who's running for Congress up in New Hampshire, and who is a former talk radio show host and a contributor to the Paltalk News Network, will be joining me for our evaluation of what the president had to say tomorrow at his State of the Union address. A lot of precursors to what the president will say that's available at the Paltalk News Network website, www.paltalknewsnetwork.com. And if you look at it, and you don't even have to look carefully, just glancing at it, you will see that we yesterday relaunched the site, and it is vastly improved with more updates, more information that you need to know throughout the day, and you can see everything you need to know at a glance and not rely on the mainstream media. They're not going to tell you everything that's going on. I wrote an essay today for the Paltalk News Network site based on a story that ABC News broke this morning. The story raises some very interesting ethical questions about the war on terrorism. For those of you who have read the story already, I ask you to bear with me just a moment while I bring the rest of the audience up to speed. According to the story, the United States military had a guy named Anwar al Awlaki, Awlaki, Al-Awlaki, Anwar al Awlaki, who was believed to be part of the Al-Qaeda leadership in Yemen that has planned attacks against the United States, including the Christmas Day attempt to blow up a U.S. airline as it approached Detroit Metro Airport within its sights. Literally. They had several opportunities to take him out, apparently with a drone, but the trigger was never pulled because Al-Awlaki is a U.S. citizen. So they put the brakes on this. There's apparently some internal discussion within the government of the United States of America whether it is appropriate for our military to target an American citizen, even if that American citizen has turncoated again. It raises a lot of ethical questions. For one, is a guy, even an American citizen, who is planning attacks against the United States, allegedly, a fair target? Or, as an American, shouldn't he, like all other Americans, be able to enjoy due process and not be subjected to extrajudicial execution at the hands of the United States government? I mean, This could get out of hand, couldn't it? Couldn't a president, I'm not saying any president in particular, but couldn't a president order as a terrorist the death of a political opponent? I mean, they do that in Russia all the time. Now, there are others who might say, why make an exception with an American citizen? What about others who our government is targeting? Don't they have the right to be brought before some kind of a tribunal, have some kind of judicial review before they are killed? You know, the problem is that we're involved in what we call a war on terrorism. I would rather call it a war against terrorists. The war is undeclared. The enemy is undefined. It is attacking us asymmetrically. Are they common criminals? Or are they military combatants? They're not wearing a uniform of a government. They're kind of twixt and between. And we really struggle with how to handle this. Today on the Paltalk News Network this morning, we brought to you live coverage of a United States Senate hearing on terrorism. And United States Senator John McCain, Republican of Arizona, and the last Republican to run for President of the United States, asked the question, why was the Christmas Day bomber Mirandized? He was spilling his guts about his al-Qaeda connections, the people who allegedly directed him to blow up the Northwest Airlines flight as it approached Detroit Metro Airport, thank God unsuccessfully. But as soon as he was Mirandized, he lawyered up, and his attorney came in and told him to shut your mouth. And apparently the government got no further information from him at that time. Why, John McCain asks, why was he Mirandized? Well, let's pretend that the person arrested that day was not Umar Farouk Abdul Muttalib. Let's say his name was John Smith, and he was not a Muslim extremist. Let's say he was just upset with Northwest Airlines for having lost his luggage on a previous flight. And he was a loony kazoonie, and he attempted to blow up the plane, and thankfully was thwarted. Would John Smith not have been arrested and Mirandized? I think he would have. Same exact circumstances, except the motivation is different. So I think we have a problem in that we really don't know how to characterize these people who are trying to attack us. We don't really have a legal mechanism for dealing with this. And in fact, the members of the third, I think it's the Third Circuit, the Federal Judicial